Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kadash, and double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, and to the bishops and elders in Connecticut, and to the high priests and teachers that taught our apostles, and to the brothers that's out there putting their lives on the line, teaching this truth, making their bodies a living sacrifice for Yahweh Bahasham Shai. And this Yah Demai from the Great Millstone Houston camp. And I'm gonna do a video. The brother in Detroit did it. He went into it. I saw his video this morning while I was starting off my work morning. And Apostle Tahar, he did a video too on it. And you got Jake, man. They just won't stop. They trying to mock the ministry. Make fun of it. But the only thing they doing is, they just bringing out the truth even more. Like it says in what's that, 2 Corinthians 3:8, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. I'm just, paraphrasing it, right? But, check this video out, man. Going into how we was Hellenized and everything. But, check it out.
It's how the lost tribes became the Gentiles in the New Testament. See? They went into all nations, applying Greek culture, replacing Hebrew customs, initiating Hellenization. This is how they became Gentiles. This is how the lost tribes became the Gentiles in the New Testament. See? They went into all nations, applying Greek culture, replacing Hebrew customs, initiating Hellenization. This is how they became Gentiles. This is how the lost tribes became the Gentiles in the New Testament. See? They went into all nations, applying Greek culture, replacing Hebrew customs, initiating Hellenization. This is how they became Gentiles.
That's what happened. That's the truth. So, he tried to do it as a mocking, making fun thing, but this happened, okay? And let's go into one of the curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, in the 64th verse, right? And it reads, and Yahweh Shema Shai shall scatter thee among all people, right? From the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Right? So, he put us out here. That was a curse because we was being disobedient. He scattered us out here, to the four corners of the world, and serving all these other gods that the heathens was into. And we lost our way, right? So that was a part of that was one of our curses, and I'm gonna get into chat, see what they got to say, right? And it says Israelites being Hellenized, made to live as Greeks. What does Hellenized mean? To be Hellenized means adopting Greek customs, speaking Greek, following Greek culture, abandoning Hebrew laws for Greek ways. This happened heavily during the Greek Empire, especially under Antiochus Epiphanes, which he came out of their Seleucid line, right? Through them, the four generals that Alexandria had. So, and it reads, the main biblical source, 1 Maccabees 1, 11 verse through 15. Let's check it out right quick. And this 1 Maccabees 1 and 11. And it reads, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Jake think they do better when they're around heathens, That's how they feel right now. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward wherein that they went to the king, it's King Antiochus, right, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise. And what's that place of exercise, right? It's gym. And when you go into that word gym, gymnos, right, mean naked. What people do today, they be down there half naked working out, right? Whereupon they built a place of exercise, which is the gym, at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, right? So they was working out naked. They was actually working out naked back then, okay? And made themselves uncircumcised, right? So, it was told, they was putting their foreskins back on, sewing their foreskin back on their rods. Many of them was doing, and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief. So, yeah, we became Hellenized. This one of the main, when we was forced into it too. Antiochus, he was putting out a decree too about forcing the Israelite, to take on the ways of being Hellenized, So let's get back in the chat, see what else they says. Yeah, it says First Maccabees 1:11 through 15. We just read that. Israelites voluntarily tried to become Greeks, made themselves uncircumcised, left the holy covenant, joined themselves to the heathen. Yeah, that's how we got Hellenized, just going into this video that Jake be trying to, like I said, they try to make fun of this ministry, but hey, you just putting the truth out there. And they got First Maccabees, first chapter 41 through 50. Antiochus, forced, right? No keeping Sabbaths, no circumcisions, no sacrifices, no laws, right? And they got Israelites were forbidden to follow Torah and forced into Greek customs, right? Being Hellenized. You got First Maccabees 1:52 through 53. Many Israelites were compelled by force, right? Second Maccabees 6:1 through 6. Israelites forced to sacrifice swine, keep Greek festivals, abandon sanctuary customs. This is for Hellenization, right? Let's get that right quick, okay? Let's check that out right quick. Let's go to Second Maccabees. I'm not going to read all the things that chat got, but, and it reads, Second Maccabees, I start from the top. Second Maccabees, chapter 6:1. Not long after this king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of Yahweh Shai, and to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter, Olympius, and that in Garism of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwell in the place. All these Greek gods, right? So let's jump to verse 5. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbid, right? And profane, you're going into that is outside of the temple, right? Profane. And verse 6, I read it again, 5. Verse 5, 2 Maccabees 6:5. The altar also was filled with profane things, which the law forbid it. Verse 6, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. See, there you go. That's the point. Straight Hellenized, losing their way, right? Just wanted to, touch on that. Going into the New Testament, John 7:35. Will he go into the dispersed among the Greeks and teach the Greeks? The Greeks were referred to Israelites living in Greek land, speaking Greek, right? Let's get that right quick. Let's get it. Let's just get it. Because that's John 7:35. I ain't gonna make it too long. I'm just hitting some points. Wanted to see what chat was saying. This John 7:35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we should not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed? That's the point. The dispersed, to the scattered among the Gentiles, right? Among the Gentiles, the natural Gentiles, and teach the Gentiles, which is that, the ones that got scattered, those Gentiles. Just want, to make that point, right? And yeah, just looking through it. You got Romans 1:6, to the Jew first and also to the Greek. The Greek often refers to Hellenized Israelites. Yeah. Not natural Gentiles, because Paul's mission was to the lost sheep, right? Matthew 15:24. They got Galatians 3:28. There is neither Jew nor Greek, which is the same people, right? That's all it means, Jew nor Greek, that these Christians like to go into. Like, see, that's for everybody. No, it's for the Israelites. Both of them are Israelites. One, they know that they are Israelites or Jews, and the other ones that don't. They lost their way, okay? They got historical background. Alexander the Great, what's that, 333 BC, he enforced Greek culture throughout his empire. Well, Alexander didn't do that. It was really Antiochus, right? And it got the Seleucid Empire after Alexandria, which was and it says heavily persecuted Israelites, outlawed Hebrew customs, forced Greek identity. This is why by the time Yahushua, many Israelites had Greek names, right? Spoke Greek, lived in Greeks, were called Greeks or Gentiles, right? And, prove that, let's get this. Now, I might end it after this. What's that? Let's see. Luke 23 and 38 it was. Let me see. Yeah, that should be. It's Luke 23 and 38, and it reads, and subscription also was written over him in letters of Greek, which is when Yahushua was on the cross, had that plaque like on the top of the cross, right? Let me see, this motherfucker's marking Yahushua. You motherfuckers gonna get it. Yeah, Luke 23 and 38, and a superscription also was written over him in letters of Greek and Latin and Hebrew. This is the King of the Jews, which is Yahushua. But I just wanted to make that point. Greeks, by the time he was on the scene, it was Greeks. They was known as Greeks. Some of my people, like he was saying. Just wanted to bring that out, man. Yeah, so, I hope this been edifying. Just just showing that, we was Hellenized, okay? We was Hellenized. So that, what was the point of that video? These clowns out here. But, hey, I hope this been edifying and to the point. Just wanted to go into that, some of that. right? And until next time, I want to give all praises due to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahah, Wakakadash. Until next time, Shalom.